So it ends with the line, Saya Khudai Zul Jalal, it's a prayer, and that means that the shadow of the mercy of Almighty Allah may always be on this land, this holy land, which is called Pakistan. So welcome again, and formally the Honorable Secretary will be welcoming you, but let me share with you that our Minister for Culture, Tourism and Antiquities was supposed to be here, Sayyid Zulfikar Ali Shah, very passionate and vibrant minister, and the youngest minister of the Sindh cabinet currently. He was supposed to be here, but due to his engagement and especially not being in the station, he's outstation, so he's not there, but he has wished everyone, every participant a warm welcome, and also he's looking forward for the healthy outcomes of this conference. So representing the department, as I told you, that this is actually organized by the Directorate General of Antiquities and Archaeology, which is a part of Department of Culture, Tourism and Antiquities, Government of Sindh. So may I request the Honorable Secretary, Department of Culture, Tourism and Antiquities, Government of Sindh, Mr. Khair Mohammed Kalwar, to please come on the podium to welcome everyone formally from Pakistan, from various parts of Pakistan and across the globe. So may I request you, sir, Mr. Khair Mohammed Kalwar Sahab, to please come on the podium.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, the distinguished guest, my colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. I am very honored here to welcome you all for this, the important international conference of illicit trafficking on cultural objects. I have been told that there are various institutes, the people from Customs, FIA, FBR, Pakistan Coast Guard, Judicial Academy, Department of Archaeology and Museums from Islamabad, and other persons have joined us, and the students from various universities are also here for this conference. This is a very important conference. I welcome you all. I also welcome the participants to today's workshop from cultural authorities and law enforcement agencies. We all know that illicit trafficking of cultural properties is a global challenge that not only deprives communities of their cultural identity, but also contributes to organized crime and terrorism financing. Pakistan, with its rich and diverse heritage, remains vulnerable to this threat, particularly due to its long borders and the demand for antiquities in international black markets. According to one article which I read last night, International Journal of Law, Technology and Art, this was published in February 2025, the global art market is valued at $552 billion in 2024, and it has been projected to reach $944 billion in 2030. So we can well imagine how the big challenge is this. This illegal trafficking of cultural properties generate a significant revenue, we all know, for the organized crime groups and terrorists, driven by the high value of art and low risk involved. The global reach of the art market, combined with the assistance of the internet in streamlining transactions, makes it increasingly challenging to combat illicit trafficking of cultural property. Pakistan's cultural heritage, our archaeological sites, historical buildings, manuscripts, religious and secular artifacts, and living traditions are not only a source of identity and pride for our people, they are also invaluable resources for education, tourism, and sustainable development. When heritage is damaged, looted, or trafficked, the loss is irreversible. Communities lose a part of their memory, scholars lose evidence of our shared past, and the nation loses both identity and potential livelihood. The illicit trafficking of cultural property is a complex problem that crosses borders, disciplines, and sectors. It thrives where legal gaps, weak enforcement, insufficient documentation, and lack of public awareness exist. That's why this conference brings together a broad range of stakeholders: policymakers, law enforcement, heritage professionals, custom officials, scholars, civil society, international partners, because we all know that only a coordinated multidisciplinary approach will succeed to combat this illicit trafficking. Sindh province is privileged to have organized this international conference and training workshop on illicit trafficking of cultural objects. The event will, I hope, enhance the position of Pakistan in the region for supporting prevention of illicit trade of cultural objects and recognition in the field of heritage protection. The engagement of university students in the conference will foster awareness among future professionals. I am also thankful to the distinguished group of international experts and institutions, including UNESCO, represented by country representative Mr. Fouad Pasha, Dr. Christina Meneghetti, international experts on culture and heritage, Dr. Marina. They will share specialized tools, case studies, and global best practices during the conference. Let me acknowledge the moral dimension of our work also. Protecting cultural property is not only a matter of law or policy. It is a duty to future generations. When we preserve heritage, we preserve the continuity of culture, the dignity of community, and foundations for social cohesion. In the end, I extend again a warm welcome once again to all participants. I encourage for open, constructive dialogue, rigorous exchange of ideas, and above all, practical cooperation among all the stakeholders. I believe that together we can make a measurable difference in safeguarding Pakistan cultural heritage. Pakistan Zindabad. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Khair Mohammed Kalward, Provincial Secretary for Department of Culture, Tourism and Antiquities, Government of Sindh, for welcoming the guests. So before we move to the other technical presentations, let me have a glance, let us have a glance over the beauty of Sindh. When we are talking about UNESCO, we have two sites which are UNESCO recognized World Heritage Sites. One is Mohenjo-daro, and second is, you all know, Makli Necropolis. So we have three short videos, short documentaries, just for the sake of understanding. As I was, last night I was discussing with Fouad, so he told me that he has not been to Mohenjo-daro, and Mohenjo-daro, since it is the identification of this Indus Valley civilization. So we'll be starting with a short video for those who have not visited, seen the site. So our department, our directorate has produced this beautiful video just for those who have not visited the site. So let's go to that video and let's visit Mohenjo-daro while sitting in Karachi. Let's have a look. So, did you like it? Yeah, I need an expression from your side. So we have a great desert of Tharparkar, that is called Tharparkar. It is in the southern part of Sindh. So let's have a glance over that area of Sindh, that is Tharparkar. And actually it is consisting of two parts, Thar and Parkar. Thar consists of desert and Parkar consists of the hilly area where we have a great Karunja hills. So let's have a glance over this area, which is the identification, one of the identifications of heritage identification of this land, Sindh. So let's have a glance over Tharparkar. This is Bodhisar Mosque, and these are great, mighty Karunjar hills. This is a temple at Bodhisar in the lap of this mighty Karunjar. This is Naukote Fort. So clap if you love heritage. So now the City of Lights where you are sitting, Karachi. We have a great heritage sites in Karachi also, and the department is endeavoring to save those sites, to preserve those sites. Let's have a glance over some of the important sites in the city where you are sitting, the capital of Sindh. So let's have a glance over the Karachi heritage. This is Mohatta Palace Museum. Wazir Mansion, the birthplace of Quaid-e-Azam. This is Frere Hall. St. Patrick's Cathedral at Karachi. Jahangir Kothari Mansion. NJV College. DJ Science College. Old Custom House. This is Meriwether Clock Tower, Lakshmi Building, Mokhi and Matara, Karachi Municipal Corporation Building, Khalik Dina Hall, Chokandi Tombs near Karachi, Jahangir Kothari Parrot, Victoria Mansion, Malir Temple at Karachi, and this is Hindu Gymkhana, Quaid-e-Azam House Museum. So in the last you saw Quaid-e-Azam House Museum, and that's the place which used to be called Flagstaff House, which was purchased by the founder of Pakistan, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and it was the residence. It has been residence for her dear sister, Mohtarama Fatima Jinnah. So nowadays, we have established, the government of Sindh has established a museum which is called Quaid-e-Azam House Museum. So we will be having a musical night and dinner tonight in that very place, Quaid-e-Azam House Museum. But before going there physically, let's have a glance over this Quaid-e-Azam House Museum, that what we have kept there. Let's have a glance. And in Karachi Heritage Sites, we have the great site where the founder of Pakistan, Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, was born. That is, you just saw in Karachi Heritage Sites, that is called Wazir Mansion, which is in Khara, the area of Karachi. So let's have a look on that place, the birthplace of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Wazir Mansion. So kudos to the department and especially the team led by our dear friend Abdul Fattah Sheikh, who is Director General of Antiquities and Archaeology. So big round of applause for this team who has made this effort to make these beautiful videos. Not only beautiful videos, but they are taking care of these heritage sites with love, with care. And whenever you get time to visit these sites, you are always welcome because this is our own heritage, our joint heritage. So ladies and gentlemen, we are moving to the first presentation. And the first presentation is from our friends, our representatives from UNESCO, who is Krista Pickett, who is the Director of Culture Emergencies and Secretary of the 1970 Convention. So, introducing Krista Pickett. Krista Pickett is the Director of Culture and Emergencies at UNESCO's Culture Sector. In this capacity, she also serves as the Secretary of 1954 Hague Convention of the Protection of Cultural Property in event of armed conflict and its two protocols, which are 1954 and 1999. The 1970 Convention of the means of prohibiting and preventing the illicit import, export, and transfer of ownership of cultural property, and the 2001 Convention of the Protection of the Underwater Cultural Heritage. Previously, Ms. Pickett held the positions of Director of the UNESCO office in Almaty, Kazakhstan, covering Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan, and head of the UNESCO office at Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Before moving to the field, Ms. Pickett has served in the organization of different capacities at the headquarters, including the Sector of External Relations and Cooperation, the Cabinet of the Director General, and the Bureau of Strategic Planning. So we have Ms. Krista Pickett online, and we'll be listening to her regarding today's theme, today's topic. Krista Pickett, Director of the Culture and Emergencies, Secretary of the 1970 Convention, UNESCO.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it is antiquities and archaeology of Sint for their commitment and partnership in organizing this international event. I also express my very sincere appreciation to the Embassy of France in Pakistan and to the Consul General of France in Karachi for their valuable support. This event comes at a crucial time. Around the world, the illicit trafficking of cultural property remains one of the most complex forms of transnational crime. It destroys heritage, it erases history and undermines the identity, rights and resilience of peoples. Conflicts, disasters and climate crises exacerbate this scourge when protection systems are weakened and communities are displaced. Trafficking also continues to evolve, taking on new and more sophisticated forms that exploit cyberspace, online markets, and digital technologies. This is a complex challenge that calls for a holistic and united response. Over the years, UNESCO has built a robust normative and operational framework to address this global threat. The 1970 Conventions lays the legal foundation for our collective efforts. It remains a living instrument 55 years after its adoption. And I wish to emphasize its prevention aspect, from national legislation to institutional capacities, from inventories to import and export controls. These measures are not only about fighting trafficking, but also strengthen the protection of movable heritage from all risks with long-term and sustainable impact. Because trafficking is a crime that crosses borders, our response must also cross borders. This brings me to the second pillar of UNESCO's work, international collaboration and solidarity. The 1970 Convention and other relevant normative instruments inspire bilateral agreements, enhance cross-border coordination, and encourage new forms of restitution partnerships. They also promote better interagency coordination among culture authorities, customs, police, the judiciary, museums, and increasingly so among communities and the youth, who are the first line of defense and the guardians of tomorrow. The third and perhaps the most essential pillar of UNESCO's action is that it is people-centered. Education and public awareness raising are key to tackling the root causes of trafficking and fostering social change. From community-based heritage documentation and protection projects implemented on the ground to international fora for dialogue and cooperation, UNESCO's action aims to ensure that the fight against illicit trafficking and return and restitution empower communities and restore cultural continuity. A recent example of UNESCO's work of this approach is the UNESCO Virtual Museum of Stolen Cultural Objects. This is a global digital platform that raises awareness, connects stakeholders, and strengthens cooperation to protect and recover heritage, leveraging culture for resilience. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are encouraged by the recent national efforts of Pakistan, including several successful return and restitution cases through bilateral cooperation, as well as your active participation in the regional workshop that was organized by UNESCO in June 2023. This engagement reflects the country's growing commitment to protecting heritage. Today's workshop is another concrete step towards further strengthening the national system for combating illicit trafficking. one that protects and celebrates heritage as a source of pride, resilience, and inspiration. UNESCO remains fully committed to support all its member states in their efforts to combat illicit trafficking and safeguard cultural heritage. I wish you very fruitful deliberations, and also that from these days there will be lasting partnerships that grow. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Krista Pickett from UNESCO. Since this is an inaugural session and the officials from Government of Sindh and UNESCO are welcoming you. So talking about the presentation and representation of UNESCO in Pakistan, we have Fouad Pashayev. Fouad Pashayev assumed the position of the Chief of the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization UNESCO office as Chief of Office or Representative to Islamic Republic of Pakistan very recently in June 2025. So he is still guest, and prior to his appointment in Pakistan, he served as the head of National Commissions and Fellowships Unit within the Priority Africa and External Relations sector since November 2019. He has also served as officer in charge of the UNESCO office at Tashkent, Uzbekistan from May to October 2019. From 2004 to 2019, he has been involved in numerous fundraising initiatives within the program of honorary and goodwill ambassadors that he leaded from 2016 to 2019. Fouad Pashayev holds the doctorate degree in political science from the University of Paris 1, Pantone, Sorbonne, and he got his master's degree in international relations from the same university. He also received a bachelor's degree in political science from the University of Robert Schuman of Strasbourg, France. So he's actually native of Azerbaijan, but he can speak English, French, Russian, Turkish, and aspires to learn Urdu. So within these 3 days, I will be teaching him a few sentences. So may I request Fouad Pashayev to please come on podium and to welcome everyone on behalf of UNESCO. Mr. Fouad Pashayev.
Shukriya, sir, and thank you so much for this very generous presentation. Honorable Mr. Khair Mohammed Kalvar, Secretary of Culture, Tourism, Antiquities and Archaeology Department of the Government of Sindh. Dear Mr. Abdul Fatah Sheikh, Director General of Antiquities of Sindh. Dear Mr. Amanullah, Director General of Archaeology of Islamabad. Mr. Alexei Shakhtatinsky, Consul General of France in Karachi, who will join us very shortly. Distinguished Consuls General from Turkey, Italy, China, Germany, Iran, and other respected countries. Esteemed resources persons from UNIDROIT, OCBC, ICOM, UNODC, Interpol, the Carabinieri Command for the Protection of Cultural Heritage, and UNESCO's Cultural and Emergencies Unit. Colleagues from the Provincial Directorates of Archaeology, law enforcement agencies, including the Coast Guard of Pakistan, FIA, Customs, Airport Security Force, honorable members of the Judiciary and Heritage and Museums professionals, Coast Guard of Pakistan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. Assalamu alaikum, and very good morning and very warm welcome to you all. It's a really truly an honor and pleasure to open this very important international conference on fighting the illicit traffic of cultural properties. Yes. Distinguished guests, I would like to particularly welcome among us Mr. Alexei Shakhtatinsky. Very warm welcome. Yes, I have a privilege to know him for more than 20 years, but it's a great pleasure to see you today in Karachi. Thank you for joining us. Distinguished guests, but once again, I would like to highlight the importance for our organization of this very important event that we organized today in close consultation and with financial support provided by the Director of Antiquities and Archaeology of the Government of Sindh. And I would like to wish, by expressing my sincere appreciation to the Secretary, Mr. Khair Mohammed Khalvar, for his leadership in organizing this very important event. I also would like to express and renew my appreciation to Mr. Abdullah Fatah Shaikh, Director General of Antiquities and Archaeology, for his firm partnership and dedication in making this very important initiative possible. In very particular, I also would like to renew once again to Mr. Khalvar, but also to Mr. Shaikh, my very deep appreciation and sincere gratitude for very warm welcome that was extended to us since our arrival last night, and for your dinner hosted and very warm welcome. I'm really grateful to be here, and great thanks to you all. Distinguished guests, dear participants, UNESCO and the Department of Culture, Tourism, Antiquities and Archaeology of the Government of Sindh have a long and productive history of collaboration. Together, we have worked on the World Heritage Management and Emergency Conservation for Mohenjo-daro in Makli, the development of the provincial inventory of intangible cultural heritage of Sindh, highlighting the living tradition of indigenous commitments of Tarparkar, and initiative in heritage education. We witnessed an excellent video that was presented this morning, and I was discussing with Mr. McAlvar about this great heritage, very ancient heritage that Pakistan has. And of course, it's UNESCO's duty to join our efforts with Pakistan to protect this heritage, to safeguard, and to transmit this to generations to come. And in that sense, today's collaboration marks a new and very important chapter in our joint efforts, combating the illicit trafficking of cultural property. This crime not only robs nations of their tangible history, but also deprives communities of their identity, memory, and sense of belonging. This conference and the following training workshop are highly important in the context of globalization, digital trade, and increasingly complex criminal network, which have made the illicit traffic of cultural objects a highly sophisticated transnational issue. And my colleague, Krista Pickett from UNESCO headquarters in the culture sector, she was highlighting the importance really to protect the cultural properties. To counter it effectively, and it's essential to raise awareness and strengthen the capacities of both cultural authorities and law enforcement agencies. This includes developing mechanisms for coordination, information sharing, and cooperation at national and international level. In this regard, as I mentioned since this morning, of course, our counterparts and our stakeholders in Pakistan can count on UNESCO support on a literally daily basis. As mentioned, dear colleagues, our organization has been at the forefront of this global fight through what we call commonly at UNESCO 1970 Convention on the Means of Prohibited and Preventing the Illicit Import, Export, and Transfer of Ownership of Cultural Property. Pakistan has ratified the 1970 Convention in 1981, and this landmark instrument provides for the international legal framework for countries to safeguard the heritage, reclaim stolen objects, and foster international solidarity in protecting cultural trafficking and destruction, as it was rightly mentioned by my colleague, Ms. Krista Pickett. In addition, dear guests, this partnership and the support from the government of Sindh demonstrate a strong commitment to preserve its rich cultural legacy. I'm confident that this conference, along with the two-day technical workshop that follows, will provide valuable insights into the challenges, trends, and legal mechanisms related to illicit trafficking of cultural goods, and help us collectively to develop practical solutions and collaborative frameworks to address this issue. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, UNESCO remains deeply committed to supporting the government of Pakistan in safeguarding its cultural heritage, tangible and intangible, and it's strengthening its institutional and professional capacity building to prevent and combat illicit trafficking of cultural property. And again, on numerous occasions in our stakeholders, we highlight the importance for Pakistan to reinforce its capacity, to build and capacity in this very area. And again, UNESCO remains very committed to support Pakistan in this area. Before closing, dear guests, I wish to extend heartfelt thanks once again to the Department of Culture, Tourism, and Director General of Antiquities and Archaeology of the Government of Sindh for its outstanding partnership under the leadership of Secretary Honorable Khalvar and Director General Abdul Fatah Shaikh and his team. I also would like to warmly thank all our distinguished resource persons, including Mrs. Marina Schneider, as well as Mrs. Noemi Gangodar, who are with us in person, who came especially from France, and our colleagues joining online from UNODC, ICOM, Interpol, Caribbean Area Command, and UNESCO colleagues from Culture and Emergency Unit for sharing the expertise and commitment. Finally, let me extend also my gratitude to all participants, representing government institutions, law enforcement bodies, the Judiciary and Provincial Directorates of Archaeology, for your presence and dedication. Ladies and gentlemen, your engagement is essential for protecting Pakistan's invaluable heritage for future generations, and again, you can count on UNESCO in this regard. Thank you all, and I wish a very productive and fruitful, inspiring conference and training workshop today and tomorrow, and shukriya again for your presence.
Thank you, Fuad, for your great remarks and welcome remarks for everyone. So we are lucky to have Alexis Shah-Tatanski, who is Consul General of Consulate of France in Karachi. Sir, may I request you to please come on the podium and to say a few words. Mr. Alexis Shah-Tatanski. Well, let's put your hand, let me request you to put your hand together to welcome.
So, Assalamu alaikum. Honorable guests, honorable representative of the Chief Director of the UNESCO office in Islamabad, honorable representatives of the federal government, of the provincial governments of Sindh, honorable experts and participants in this conference. It's a great honor for me as a Consul General of France here in Karachi, having been invited just to say a few words for the opening of this conference. As you well know, France is a trusted friend of Pakistan. France was the first non-Muslim nation to recognize Pakistan's independence back in 1947. It has enjoyed a very multi-dimensional cooperation with Pakistan over the last 78 years already, including in the field of culture and archaeology, where we've had French archaeologists conducting research and excavations over the last 50, 60 years in the province of Balochistan, and over the last 10 years in the province of Sindh, in the Indus Valley. It's incredibly valuable work that they are doing here every year. But the purpose of this is to give the people of Pakistan ownership of their own cultural heritage. Now, this conference we're having today is a very important conference because, unfortunately, there are people who, crime happens in the world, and people, unfortunately, commit crime around the world every day. And sometimes there is a temptation also to steal cultural value, to try and to traffic, try and make profit out of them, illicit profit, and this is something we have to unite against. Unfortunately, this is a problem that all nations on earth face. In France, just as recently as last Sunday, we had a major embarrassment, actually, and a major criminal act that was committed against the Museum of the Louvre, where in the early hours of Sunday morning, you had burglars and thieves who introduced themselves into Louvre and stole jewelry from the early, late 18th, early 19th century, but jewelry which, of course, may have for the thieves some commercial value because they will resell the diamonds and the precious stones. But first and foremost, it has invaluable cultural value, not just for the country where it happened, but actually, as we say, this is a world heritage. So it has immense value for the whole of the world, including for people from Pakistan when they come and visit the Louvre. And the same, it's a two-way street, and the same here. You have UNESCO UNESCO World Heritage Sites here in Pakistan. You have many of them, including here in Sindh, with not just Mohenjo-Daro, but also Makli, and these needs to be protected. And therefore, there is a strong need to unite efforts, and I would like to commend the initiative of the UNESCO office here in Pakistan, its director and all the team that did a lot of hard work to make this conference happen, to the federal government and of Pakistan and the government of Sindh. It's very important that we share the experience that we may have in different countries on how we can, in the best possible way, fight these criminal elements and protect what is indeed our common heritage. And President Macron just recently in Paris said that definitely those who committed this crime, which is a crime against the nation's cultural heritage and against the world's cultural heritage, deserve to be punished and castigated, and I have no doubt that it will be done. But without joint efforts worldwide, we cannot succeed. And this is the reason why it is very important that we unite our efforts to also, in particular, and this is the topic today, protect your cultural heritage here in Pakistan from people who would like or would be tempted making profit out of it. And I hope all the experts that came, I'm very proud that for the first time in many years we have a French expert who's participating in the conference today. And I'm glad that we can share those experiences, and I hope it will be to the benefits of our people. So thank you very much to all of you. I wish you productive discussions, and I wish you well, and thank you, and I wish you success.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alexis Shatatansky. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correct. Christina has been troubling with me while pronouncing the names correct, all the names who are participating in today's day-long conference. Here, I would request everyone to join us for coffee, because the inaugural session ends here, but right after 10 minutes, we'll be starting our first technical session with Christina's presentation. So let's have coffee together.
Sì, diamoci del tu, va benissimo. Ok, quindi mi dai orientativamente un orario? Perché nel frattempo io sto gestendo un'altra cosa. Quindi no, no, tranquilla, solo per saperlo. Quindi mi riconnetto più o meno verso le 8:30, va bene? Mi riconnetto più o meno fra le 8:30, verso le 8:30. A te dopo.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, mic check. Hello, hello. LA, LA, LA.
बारह नंबर क्यों नहीं आ रहा? आपके पास कौन सी जा रही है? 2+2 एक मिनट। 12 नंबर चैनल पर 12 नंबर आउट पे जाए। 12 नंबर है 12 नंबर की आउट टू बंद कर दो। आपको कौन सी आ रही है? 2+2 फ्री कर रहे हैं पोस्ट?
नहीं बंद ही है।
बंद है। अच्छा 12 की बंद है और
11 की भी बंद है।
11 की बंद करनी है। 11 की +2 बंद है। फ्री का है वहाँ ना? फ्री करा हुआ मेरा ख्याल है।
नहीं
पोस्ट पे जाएगा
LA, 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 LA. तो दूसरे वाले पे ट्राई करें इसका। LA, 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 LA.
म्यूट करा हुआ ना 11 यार हुआ बन रहा है। ये इनपुट करेगी 11-12 में
11 और पोडियम है।
ऑडियो इनपुट करेगी और 11 में वो वाला लैपटॉप इनपुट करा हुआ। एक मिनट ऑडियो उसमें 11 में ये 12 है। 12 में कौन सा है? मेन लैपटॉप कौन सा आ रहा है? अभी ऑडियो किस पे आ रही है?
दोनों पे से आ रही है। और
अभी
दोनों
जा किस पे रही है? जा किस पे रही है? चार्ज पे 2 पे जूम पे 2 नंबर जूम पे जा रहा है। 11 आ गया सही है और 2 पे जा रहा है। 2 पे बंद कर दें आप इसको। बंद करो बंद कर मैंने अभी ऑन करा बंद 2 बंद है। और 11 12 11
LA. ये क्यों आ रही है? ये तो
कहाँ
देख
से आ रही है?
LA. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. LA, LA,
गई
hello, mic check. 1 2 3 3 2 1.
हटाएं हाथ हटाएं मैंने यहाँ पे
LA, mic check.
आवाज़ जो आ रहा है वो कहाँ है? स्पीकर उसकी आवाज़ चेक कराओ।
उसकी आवाज़ ही आ जाएगी। आप ये चेक करिए।
कौन से नंबर पर आ रही है लैपटॉप?
12 पे।
बोलो आप माइक बोलो।
LA.
सिग्नल ले ला तुम्हारे पास से निकला हुआ माइक माइक बंद कर दो।
माइक बंद कर देगा तो जाएगी कैसे? ये लैपटॉप तो ऑपरेट हो रहा है।
ऊपर वाला लैपटॉप
हेडफोन स्पीकर।
ऊपर थोड़ी ये है। ठीक है स्पेशल ऑडियो कर देते। अब चेक करें
LA.
और ऑडियो सेटिंग देख लेते हैं भाई।
वेब बदल रहे हो क्या?
बोलो बोलो
ये
बोलो बोलो बोलो।
LA. बस 2. LA. LA,
ब्लैक मैजिक कौन सी आउटपुट दी है आपने, बस वो चेक कर
बस
लो।
2 है वो, वही बताया। LA, 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 LA,
ये वन से तो नहीं जा रहा तुम?
LA, 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 जूम कर रहा है। LA, LA, LA,
बोलो।
LA, mic check, mic check, LA, LA,
टर्न टर्न कर दो उसको, टर्न टर्न कर दो।
LA, LA,
अभी आ रहा है।
LA,
पाँच छः पे क्या जा रहा है? पाँच पे मॉनिटर है और छः पे एक
LA,
चार पाँच छः तेज मॉनिटर है और सात पे
LA,
सात और आठ तो नहीं आती है।
स्ट्रीट मॉनिटर किस पे? उस पे भी बंद कर दे। LA,
कौन से पे?
LA, LA,
लैपटॉप अगर उसको बंद कर दूंगा तो आवाज़ क्या आएगी लैपटॉप की? माइक कौन सा है ये? वन है। वन वन। अब बोलो।
LA, 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 LA,
आते
LA,
जाए वो शादी मोहम्मद सादी का मोबाइल बंद है, वो
LA,
कॉल आया था गली कोने में ही खड़ा हुआ, कह रहा यार वो
LA,
देखो वहाँ लेवल आ रहा।
LA, mic check, LA, 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 mic check, 1 2 3 3 2 1, LA, 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 आ रही है। LA, बस पूरी खत्म करके बस को दोबारा बना।
who is really taking care of protection of heritage in the country. So I go quick because it's quite tough. But we have the convention has several articles. And the articles are orienting the implementation of the convention. So for example, Article 6 concerns the appropriate certificate. So it gives indications and guidelines on how the country can develop a proper official certificate that can be used in case of export, import, etc. Okay? So this is something which is properly described in Article 6. Then what is very important is return and restitution of cultural property. Recently we have had several restitutions, and the federal government will do presentations later on and in the coming days about the recent restitutions that has happened from US, from UK, from France, and about to happen from Italy also. So this is should be a dialogue with the countries, should be really a moment of discussion, of dialogue, in order to understand how to avoid that those looting has happened. So the restitution are also occasions to, let's say, to raise the awareness of the public